So we saw what is the role of SEBI in the mutual fund industry, and the next person just below SEBI is the asset management company, and it is the asset management company with which you will deal. So when people talk about let's say Invesco mutual fund or Mirai mutual fund or something like that, to them they actually mean the AMC. But sometimes they also say, oh, I got very poor returns in my say HDFC mutual fund. What they mean then is the scheme, right? Or they would say, oh, I got very good return in my PPFAS mutual fund. Then again they're talking of a scheme. So people use the AMC and the schemes interchangeably. Sometimes they will tell you, I got good returns in ICICI Prudential Discovery. Sometimes they'll tell you, I got good return in DSP NRNE fund. Sometimes they know that. Otherwise they'll just say, oh, especially if they have invested in only one scheme of say DSP or PPFS or a PGIM or any of those funds, then they say, oh, I got good returns in PGIM. What they mean is they got good returns in PGIM mid cap fund. They don't mean anything else, right? So you cannot use the words interchangeably if you are a serious investor. You need to understand the asset management company launches an NFO, collects the money, appoints the manager. Please understand, it is the trustees who appoint the AMC to manage the money, which is very technical. And then the asset management company recruits the fund manager, the research people, then they decide what to buy and what not to buy within the rules of the key information memorandum. That is the job of the asset management company. The asset management company also keeps records, tells you what is the NAV and tells you what is the nature of the fund, what they will do. That is, this is an equity fund, it will put money in equity. This is a debt fund, it will put money in debt, right? It will do all that kind of work. It will explain, it will recruit people, it will have sales people. Remember, the asset management company charges a fees. Then it incurs expenses. So it charges the fees and collects the expenses from the fund scheme. And then the fund sales people come and sell the fund to you, and if you are convinced that it is a good scheme, that it will make money, and you do not already have something like this, or if you think, oh, I like the prospects, I like the fund manager, I like etc., and therefore you invest. So that is your job. Now if you don't get your statement in time, if you are, or if you think the NAV calculation is wrong, etc., you can raise this as an issue with the asset management company. Again, you're dealing with the asset management company. You very rarely will deal with the board of directors who run it on a day-to-day basis, or the trustees who are there to look after, or the compliance officer or the managing director. You don't really deal with them. You deal with the sales people, you deal with the operations people. And some of the activity like sending you a statement on creating the accounting portion of the unit holder information, that is normally outsourced to a couple of agencies. It could be CAMS, or it could be somebody like that, and there was Carvey, and Carvey is now changed name, and these are the people who manage the day-to-day operations regarding the accounting portion of the unit holder. Remember, this is not the accounting portion of the investment. That is handled by the custodian, and that is handled by the accounting services firm. Very rarely do they do it internally, because it's expensive to maintain a very big hierarchy of people just to do this work. So largely this would be outsourced. So this is the role of an asset management company. The role of an asset management company is to be a manufacturer. He just is a manufacturer. He should not tell you as an investor what you should do. Now take the case of a pharmaceutical example. Suppose you meet the managing director of a pharmaceutical company, let's say Sun Pharma, and you're sitting next to him in the plane, and you ask him, sir, what is the new product you have launched? So he says, oh, I've launched this fantastic product. It is very good for sugar and for diabetics, etc., and this is the new green shiny pack. Do you say, can I have a sample please? Because he's going to ask, do you have diabetes? No, I don't have diabetes, but I like the nice green packing that you have given it. But why the hell would you buy that product? But that is what a mutual fund expects. They come out with a product every day, and like I was describing to somebody, 300 launches happen every year, and 300 launches of Bollywood also happen every year, and every heroine and every hero tell you this movie is different. I seriously do not know how much of difference is there, but 300 movies have to be launched. So there is so much of drama and show about the launch. So that is exactly what happens. You have to check out whether that suits you. You have to check out whether you need it at all, whether you are doing it for fun. So if you are doing it for fun, you put 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees. You don't put 1 million and say, oh, because my relationship manager told me I put. That's not on, right? That's what people do. So you need to understand what is your role. You need to understand what is the AMC's role. You need to understand what is SEBI's role. AMC is not here to tell you where to put the money. That is not the job of the AMC. That is the job of your advisor. You don't ask the managing director of Sun Pharma which medicine I should take. He's going to look at you like, are you weird? But AMCs are not like manufacturers. They don't stick to only manufacturing. They come regularly and bombard you and say, this is the time to be buying this product, and they could be completely and totally wrong, right? It's your doctor who tells you, look, you've got sugar problem, get tested, take this medicine once a day, twice a day, 10 times a day, whatever. It is your doctor, not the manufacturer. What should the manufacturer do? The manufacturer should manufacture, right? So he should have, say, 5 large cap funds, 1 aggressive large cap fund, 1 not aggressive large cap, 1 value, 1 growth, 1 international. He is got to manufacture. He has got to manufacture mid cap, large cap, small cap, hybrid. He is just the manufacturer. It is the advisor who should understand the products available with the requirement of his clients and be able to match. Does this client need international diversification? Does he have only 50 lakhs? Then he does not need international diversification. Does he have 2 crores, 3 crores? Maybe he needs a little bit of international diversification. That is the job of the advisor and the client. The client has to understand his risk profile. The advisor has to understand the risk profile. They have to take. Remember, the advisor is only giving advice. It is the client who is taking the risk, and therefore it is the client who will be making the profit, not the advisor. The advisor's job is to advise. The client's job is to understand what he is doing, what she is doing, and then be able to create a portfolio. That is the job. So you understand the role of SEBI in a full video which I had done. This is the role of the manufacturer. The manufacturer has to manufacture. He is not supposed, he has to make sure that his fund managers are clean, the practices are clean, the statements go out on time. He is just an executor. Putting it in food language, the manufacturer or the AMC, whom we call the manufacturer, is supposed to make the puri, make the sev, make the chutney, make the tikka chutney, meetha chutney. He has to ensure that this is top quality. Whether the client needs bhel puri, sev puri, or dahi batata puri, or pani puri, that is for the advisor and the client to decide. The manufacturer can recommend and say, oh, we have launched a new product and can you try this? This is bhel puri or this is pani puri, or we add little rum to it. You suggest. You don't say, oh, everybody should have this. Maybe he's a teetotaler. Maybe he will not have it. It's none of the manufacturer's business. A manufacturer has to manufacture. This is not a car where a car manufacturer says, these are my specs, this is what happens. The same specs apply to everybody. If I buy a Mercedes and my friend buys a Mercedes, it is the same car. Maybe I use it for 10 kilometers a day and he uses for 300 kilometers a day. That is up to our usage, but the product is the same. Unfortunately, asset management companies have to accept that there could be somebody who needs a very sophisticated product and somebody who needs a very simple product. You go manufacture, the advisor will read it, he will understand the client's requirement, he will get the marriage done. The common defense that asset management companies have is to say, oh, but our advisors don't understand it that well. They don't know how to do asset allocation. Then it is your job to teach. The pharma companies train and teach doctors. They give the brochure to the doctors. It is the doctor who reads and says, oh, this medicine is different from this medicine. Let me try this medicine. It is for the doctor to decide. The manufacturer can advertise. What is the manufacturer's job? Is to keep the factory clean, keep the norms properly. There will be an FDA inspection. There will be a Government of India inspection. Make sure that it's a clean operation. There is no problem in the operation. The raw materials are good. The end product is good. It is packaged well. That is the job of the manufacturer. The manufacturer does not go door to door saying, oh, please take this diabetes medicine. What happens if he doesn't have diabetes? You don't know. So don't be, that is not your job. That is the job of the doctor. In this case, that is the job of the financial advisor. Thank you. This is the view from the room. And these are the mountains. Very cloudy day today. There is no sun, and this is at about 7:30. Otherwise, it was bright and shiny at 8 o'clock. At 5 o'clock in the morning. But now it's drizzling. I don't think you can see the drizzle, but this is the next room, and this is how it looks.
Sunlight till 7:45.
And you're feeling hot. After coming back from the walk.
Sunlight till 7:45.
This is GB, and the clouds are amongst us, and we are among the clouds. This is at room level, and the clouds are maybe a floor away. So this is the level at the room, and this is slightly higher. This is again room level. Yay, this is room level.
7, 8, 8 chairs outside is like
This is room level. You can see the roof on the right, the electric wires, and there. I'm just holding it steady.
Clouds.
And here are the clouds, and here are we. When you hear the word prosperity, the first thing that comes to mind is a person with a lot of money, maybe a big bank balance, nice vehicles, cars, maybe plane, nice vacations in expensive places, and being indulged in, right? That is what you think. Largely, we associate the word prosperity with being about money and happiness, and we connect all of that. But prosperity really is far beyond money. It is not just money, it is far beyond money. And it also depends on what values you have. For example, if you're in a desert, sand may not have any value, but a bottle of cold water could. But if you're an artist sitting in the city, maybe that sand has a lot of value because you can color it and use it somewhere, right? So what is value, what is prosperity, and all keeps changing. The definition keeps changing. So if you look at, technically speaking, if you look at what is prosperity, it could be just a state of mental being. You could say your children are very prosperous, your children are thriving, they're doing very well. That could give you a sense of happiness. So you could have a modest income, you could take modest holidays. Look at the one which I am currently taking. It is pretty modest in terms of expenses. It is, it's good. It is the only thing that I took was a flight from Bombay to Chandigarh. You could take a train. It's not really very different if you take a plane or a train, and that's not a very big expense. But the per day costs and all are not very high. It gives you a sense of prosperity, yes, but it's not a very expensive thing to do, right? So what you do, how you are, how much of gratitude you have, how much fun you have, it's got very little to do with money. Am I saying that you don't have to earn enough to be prosperous? No, I'm not saying that. But it is not just the money prosperity that you should be looking at. You should be looking at a lot of other things than just money.